situation with mental health. I mean, I'm touching on very dangerous territory here, but do you think we have to get a little bit more rigorous in the way we approach people who say they've got mental health problems? Because what we know is it's a catch-all, it's a lodestar, mental health, under which we all have to defer to it. So why aren't you coming to mental health? Oh, mental health. Well, in that case, we've been too lenient on people who say I've got a bad back or I've got mental health problems. As Suella Braverman said while she was still Home Secretary all those days ago, anxiety is not a reason not to go to work. We could cure some of our non-working problems if we confronted the leniency with which we greet anyone who says, I've got mental health issues or I've got a bad back.
Yeah, again, I mean, I think you have to be signed off. So it's not that someone rings up and says, right, I'm not going to work to the benefits office because I've got mental health problems. I don't think it's as simple as that. So you could argue maybe the doctors.
Trevor, I think it has been for a lot of people. Doctors are writing people off.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, though. It's not them telling the benefits office, I'm not working, I feel sick. They have to go to somewhere else to get signed off. So you're right. Is it the case that the doctors are signing them off even though they're not? In which case, are we questioning the ability of doctors to do their jobs, or are we saying that they have to be more rigorous? And so that's where we'd have to tackle this. It isn't as and as I mentioned earlier, mental health, maybe, as you quite rightly point out, one of the issues, but then there are other illnesses that seem to be part of the issue as well. And it may be connected to the fact that, you know, we haven't been spending enough on our National Health Service for quite a few years. And so the increasing waiting lists will lead to that. And there may be something related to COVID. I don't know to what extent this is post-COVID and whether there's long COVID effects. But yeah, I mean, something is going on with illness for sure.
You talked about, you know, these headlines, which prime ministers often do ahead of an autumn budget, which frankly is often used, hasn't it, to try and get the voters back on side, little tidbits sent out as headlines to try and appeal to certain cohorts of the voterate. And, you know, you rightly said that this sort of headline will appeal to certain people out there thinking, yeah, the Tories have been a bit weak on all of this stuff. But what I want to know from you is how much in sort of lost taxes, how much in a welfare burden would this policy actually help? And, you know, does it actually tip the balance economically in any way, shape or form? Or is it just that? Is it a headline? What is the sort of economic drag of out of work people?
Well, I mean, look, I think there is an effect. You're absolutely right. What is the effect of it? So unemployment benefits, I think the way to think about it is, do all the benefits that could be claimed get claimed? There's about 4 billion which is unclaimed, which is left off the amount which people could claim. That's one way of looking at it. Unemployment benefits, allowances for people, they're not great compared with the standard of living that someone would need to earn in order to be able to say they're living close to the minimum wage or the average wage. It's definitely less than that. But absolutely, the welfare budget is a cost, and reducing it would be a good idea if we could get it down in a sustainable way. But it won't tip the balance. It's not why the economy is growing poorly. It's not why public spending is so high. We've got an aging population. That's why it's so high. There are more people that are not able to work, possibly because of the effects of earlier cuts in spending on health and mental care and so on and so forth. And I think those things are more important.
In terms of the people who are out of work and in terms of what they might say tomorrow in the autumn statement, what Jeremy Hunt might say, what should he say? What measures should he bring in to give the economy the kickstart it needs? What would you do?
What we need are more supply side reforms. It isn't about dealing with the people that are unemployed. And if we really wanted to tackle the people that are unemployed, we should really increase skills. We should really spend more on retraining. We should really spend more on apprenticeships. We should really spend more on NVQ qualifications. Those are the sorts of things we should do if we want to make a difference to that. With regards to the economy, we're a low productivity, slow growth economy because we should really do a lot more about infrastructure spending. I don't necessarily mean an HS2, for instance. I mean more connecting northern cities together, for example, is a better way of spending the money. So it's about spending wisely on infrastructure. It's about our sclerotic planning system. It's about incentives to invest in new technology. It's about building wind farms and solar plants where we need them, I mean, those are the big things that need to be done. And frankly, this other stuff is really tinkering at the edges.
Trevor Williams, thank you ever so much. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Tinkering at the edges. I'm always very suspicious when something gets snuck out in a headline ahead of something like an autumn statement. See it for what it is. It's the government just trying to curry favour.
I don't want to be depressing or pessimistic, but I suspect tomorrow's going to be thin gruel.